I knew him as Solus, a thoughtful mage obsessed with dreams. But long ago, he had a different name. Fen Harel, the Dreadwolf. Ancient elven god of lies, or heroic rebel against tyranny, depending on which story you believe. In his final fight with the elven gods, Solus imprisoned them and created a veil that split our world from the raw magic of the Fade. But now, he wanted to tear down that veil and destroy the world. And we're the only ones who can stop him.
Oh my gosh. This is exciting. This is exciting, guys. Another thing that I noticed in that trailer is when Varric says, is he the ancient elven god of lies or a rebel? What did he say? A rebel mage something or other. But I gotta go back and remember those lines. But those lines, I feel like that's where we're gonna be in the next game. Like, even though it ends with it's up to us to stop him, think about, like, these are the two things. Could he be the god of lies? So could he be the bad guy or could he be the good guy? You know what I mean? And maybe we could possibly steer him in a better direction. Do you know what I mean? It would be really interesting if in this game we do manage to save Solus. That would be, because if he's supposed to be the big bad, he's trying to destroy the world and all that kind of stuff. So after viewing the video, I had to watch it like 4 times and I had to pause on different frames so that I could really get a grasp of what I was seeing, because I'll be honest with you, Varric's voice tends to distract me a little bit. But so I want to put this out there. Most of my playthroughs, I actually befriend Solus, even after knowing after my first playthrough that he betrays us. But the whole point of him betraying us is I feel like when you befriend somebody and then they betray you in the end, it actually hurts more. Very much like when Sanders does what he does in Dragon Age 2. However, I feel like for me personally with Solus, it's even more so. And I can't really explain the why and the how. Maybe someone could better articulate that who may be feeling the same way in comparing Anders to Solus. However, this is how I feel. Like, with Solus, there's more. There's more to it. And like I mentioned earlier, you have an option to save him. It's pretty clear at the end of the Trespasser DLC in Dragon Age Inquisition that Solus is going to be the next big bad. Now, I know that a lot of people don't want to hear that, and a lot of people don't believe that he's going to be the only one. And that's entirely possible. He might not be the only one. My thing is, I tend to err on the side of caution and skepticism because I don't want to put all of my eggs in one basket, and I don't want to assume that Solus isn't going to be the only one. But what I am going to say is that I feel like he can be saved. So the dialogue in Inquisition in the Trespasser DLC, it gives us the option, it gives us the opportunity to tell him, I can show you this world deserves to be saved. And then at the end of the game, when, you know, you go back to the Skyhold and you're talking with your people, you have the option to, we'll stop him or we'll save him. And I usually choose save him, because if there's an opportunity to save him, why not? So the game gives you that. And I would be very, very disappointed if in the next game we're not given that option, but it just doesn't seem like it. I mean, especially after watching this trailer, it really doesn't feel like this is going to be a one-size-fits-all. Solus is a complicated character. Solus is not a straight-up bad guy like Corypheus was. he genuinely cares about his people. He is going about things the wrong way, and he literally says to our Inquisitor in Trespasser, if there's a better way, I would relish the something in you showing me, right? Like, he wants you to show him a better way. And that to me says he's not evil. He's not bad. He's doing some bad things, like trying to destroy the world in the current way that it is, and maybe destroying the elven world the way it used to be was also bad. But he worked alone primarily, and he's been alone. So the Inquisition and befriending the Inquisitor is really the first time that it seemed like Mythal was like his only friend. But even then, you know, they killed Mythal. So he worked alone. He did everything alone. And when you are alone all the time, you tend to see things a certain way, and then there's nobody there to question you. There's nobody there to make other suggestions. So this is what I'm thinking is going to happen, is we are going to, now even though we're going to be a new protagonist who doesn't have a connection to Solus, this whole trailer was basically an in-game narration by Varric explaining to our new protagonist who Solus is, who he has a reputation of being, like the opportunity to say, oh, is he the god of lies, or is he fighting against tyranny? And I want to point out the 7 symbols at the end, at the bottom of the little circle thing. Those are supposed to represent the 7 elven gods. But if you notice right above that, in the circle, is a very glowy yellow golden ball that shows a city. The Golden City. And then as Varric is telling the story about how Solus went, not how he went about, but that he locked them away, he imprisoned them, creating the Veil, you see the city goes black. Well, we all know that there was a Golden City, and then to our knowledge, the Tevinter mages invaded the Golden City and corrupted it and turned it black, and then they became Darkspawn and started the Blights. But that's not really true, is it? And that's the mystery. Like, has this been about the elven gods all this time? And I want to point out that Solus did say they weren't gods. They were mages. They were very powerful mages. They were the leaders of the elves, and they basically got power hungry and enslaved their own freaking people. So they're not exactly good, but it begs the question, where does Tevinter come into this? When did this happen? Because according to Corypheus, they went there and the city was empty. Okay, well, if the city was empty, where are the elven gods? And how did this come about? How did it come about that Corypheus and the other magisters go there somehow? Still, that's a mystery in and of itself. They went there and it was empty, but yet they got turned into Darkspawn and started the Blight. Well, how did that really come about? There's so many questions and such a huge mystery, which makes me question, okay, let's talk about Andraste. Let's talk about the Maker. Is the Maker a real being, or is the Maker a representation of all of the elven gods? And if that's the case, then who is Andraste the bride of, right? She reminds me so much of Joan of Arc, hearing visions and seeing things and whatnot, but she's the bride of somebody, even though she was already married. But she becomes the bride, and who is she the bride of, if not the Maker? Imagine the possibilities that our new protag could go down this, like, investigative road to figure as much of this out as possible. I also feel like even though our next protag is not going to have a connection to Solus, the fact that Varric is talking about Solus and explaining to our new protag who Solus is gives us an opportunity as our new protag to develop some empathy, maybe some understanding, and also intrigue. Like, this is intriguing, this is a mystery, and I want to solve it. I want to get to the bottom of it. I want to figure out who it is I'm actually supposed to fight. You know what I mean? And that gives us an option to either fight with Solus, possibly, or save him from himself, or fight towards him. So yes, I am looking forward to our next adventure in the next Dragon Age game. I can't wait to meet our new protag. I am excited to see who our options are going to be, what factions they're going to be from, because, you know, just like other Dragon Age games, exception of Dragon Age 2, but in Origins and Inquisition, we got to choose from six different types of characters. I'm really excited. I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to play, possibly have a Canary and a dwarf and an elf, obviously, and a human. But like, what factions are they going to be in? Because we've never actually been to Tevinter, and I'm really excited to see Tevinter. This is very, very exciting, and I can't wait. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and you all have a great rest of your day.